Welcome to Thoroughbred Action from Gulfstream Park. It is here. It is Sunshine Millions Day. What an exciting afternoon at Gulfstream Park. We've got 12 races on tap. We got to get right to those track and weather conditions. The main track listed as good. The turf course listed as good. The first race originally scheduled for 1 mile on the turf now moved to the main track at 1 mile. These are claimers 4-year-olds and upward. Scratch 4, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and number 16.
They're off. Tinto Mesa and Mad Patriot had good beginnings. Cool Man Walkin is also sharp from the start. Dixie Conqueror coming through an opening on the inside to be a part of the early pace. So too is Tiger Bourbon on the inside. Now it's going to be these two that will take over as the field races out of the chute and onto the backstretch. So it is Tiger Bourbon in front. Dixie Conqueror is running in second. Cool Man Walkin is third. Tinto Mesa to the outside fourth. And then it's back to Real Steel off duty to the outside and Mad Patriot. They're being followed by Ven Holiday, and Island Dude is last of them all. The first quarter was 23 seconds flat. They're moving up the backstretch, and they're in pursuit of Tiger Bourbon, who heads past the half-mile pole in front. Tiger Bourbon, the leader, by a length and a half to Cool Man Walkin, Tinto Mesa, and Real Steel, who's down on the inside. 2.5 more to Dixie Conqueror, then Ven Holiday to the outside. The half goes in 45 and 4. Around the far turn, and it's Tiger Bourbon in front. Tiger Bourbon, the leader, by 2.5 lengths. Real Steel to the inside is running in second. Cool Man Walkin is third. Van Holiday is circling up on the far outside and is starting to close in. Then Tinto Mesa and Island Dude, and they're into the stretch, and it's Tiger Bourbon, who went 3/4 in 1, 10 and 4. Turning for home with a 4-length lead. Van Holiday is second. Real Steel third to the inside. Into the final furlong. Tiger Bourbon trying to hold on to this lead while drifting out. Van Holiday is second best, closing in but running out of time, and Tiger Bourbon will hold on over Ven Holiday, and then Real Steel, Cool Man Walkin, and Island Dude.
Number 2, Tiger Bourbon wins it, pays $7.20, owned by Kieran Groves, trained by Juan Arias, and ridden to victory today by Jose Alvarez. Race number 2 is a 7-furlong allowance optional claimer for 4-year-olds and upward. We'll have 10 runners going to the post.
They're off. And it's Early Entry who comes out running well. On the far outside, Lord Commander, sharp from the start as well. Then Western Reserve and Juba from the inside. They're being followed by Bluegrass Singer and Squadron A. Just to their outside, Hear That Tune is next. Then back to Savoy Stomp, Roger Rocket, and the trailer is Casi Guapo as the field heads up the backstretch. And it is Juba in front. Juba the leader here by a neck. Western Reserve on the outside running in second. Just to the outside of them, Lord Commander follows in third as they make their way into the far turn. And they're clear from Bluegrass Singer in fourth. Hear That Tune fifth on the outside, followed by Squadron A, who's about 5.5 lengths off the lead and racing on the rail. Roger Rocket is after that, and then Savoy Stomp and Casi Guapo around the far turn. Lord Commander on the outside at the rail, Western Reserve. Early Entry now swung to the outside of them. Squadron A fourth and trying to mount a 4-wide charge. Coming to the top of the stretch, here's Early Entry. Early Entry runs up on the outside to take the lead as they come by the 8th pole. On the outside, Squadron A is closing in though. So too Roger Rocket, who's taken third. It's Early Entry in front. Early Entry, Squadron A, and Roger Rocket. Early Entry does it. Then Squadron A, Roger Rocket, Savoy Stomp, and Western Reserve.
Number 7, Early Entry gets a perfect trip and pays $15.60, owned by Tommy Roberts Racing Stable, LLC, trained by Kathleen O'Connor, ridden to victory today by Paco Lopez. We'll take a short break, and we'll be back for race number 3. The third race, a 1 mile, the main track now listed as fast. These are maiden claimers, 3-year-olds, scratch number 7, Extrovert.
They're off. High Mischief broke well. On the inside, Totally Evil is out of the gate quickly. Texas T up and on the pace too. These three out for the early lead as they make their way out of the chute. It is Totally Evil to take the lead. Totally Evil to the front as the field exits the chute. Texas T is running in second. On attack is third to the outside. Then it's He's Cotton fourth along the rail. Uccello Bello is going up in company in between horses with Little Paul up the backstretch. And right up there too in between rivals is High Mischief. And then comes Cyber Josh on the outside. And last of them all is Little PJ. 23 and 3 was the quarter. Totally Evil on top as they head past the half-mile pole. Texas T is second, and on the outside it's Uccello Bello up into third after a 47 and 1/2 mile. Little Paul is down on the inside. Then comes Cyber Josh. On attack down toward the rail. 2.5 lengths more back to He's Cotton, and then comes High Mischief. Little PJ trails the field as Totally Evil leads the way. Totally Evil from Texas T. These two head and head coming to the top of the stretch, and Little Paul squeezes on through. Down on the inside as they turn for home, Little Paul has come up the rail to take the lead. Texas T is running in second on the far outside. He's Cotton is putting in a bid, and He's Cotton's charging. Here's He's Cotton on the outside. He's Cotton and Texas T go by Little Paul late. It is Texas T fighting He's Cotton, Texas T. He's Cotton. Then Texas T, Little Paul, Uccello Bello, and Totally Evil.
Number 1, He's Cotton switches to the outside and scores and pays $10 even, owned by Herman van der Broek, trained by Ron Pellegrini and ridden to victory today by apprentice Gerardo Corrales. The fourth race, 7 furlongs. These are maiden filly 3-year-olds. The off-time favorite at 4 to 5 is the number 9, Kinsley Kisses.
They're off. And it is Kinsley Kisses who comes out running well. Danessa again and Paula Queen on the inside. Also sharp from the beginning, then More Than Just Hello, who's out running in fourth on the outside. Followed by Makosa, Majestic Mayara's next. Then it's back to Bird Street. They're being tracked by High Sweet Candy. Karma, second last in the early stages here. Leaving is Winning, trails the field. 22 and 1 was the first quarter. Danessa again on top 3/4 of a length. Kinsley Kisses on the outside second with a half mile to go. Paula Queen follows them in third, 2.5 lengths off the lead. More Than Just Hello, losing a bit of ground on the far turn, and now starting to drop back while 3 wide. Then Majestic Mayara, Makosa to the inside. Bird Street's got a circle up outside of horses, and then it's Karma, followed by High Sweet Candy, and Leaving is Winning. 45 and 2 was the half mile. Arriving at the quarter pole, Kinsley Kisses has taken the lead from Danessa again, and these two will turn for home 1-2 with Paula Queen in third. They're into the stretch. Kinsley Kisses and John Velasquez come by the 8th pole, pulling away to lead by 3. Paula Queen is second, and then Danessa again, followed by Majestic Mayara. Kinsley Kisses coming home a winner here. Kinsley Kisses scores by 3 over Paula Queen. And then it was Majestic Mayara, Bird Street, and Karma.
Number 9, Kinsley Kisses wins it. The favorite pays $3.60, owned by Cheyenne Stables LLC, trained by Todd Pletcher, ridden to victory today by John Velasquez. The fifth race, 1 mile and 1/16 on the good turf. It's the Sunshine Millions Fillies in Mare Turf, presented by Hampton Inn. And we have a scratch in here of number 6, Daddy's Boo.
They're off in the Sunshine Millions Filly and Mare Turf. And it's Naval Command who comes out the best. Unbridled Courage, second early on. Then Comet 62, followed by Pink Poppy, Lori Store, and EB Rider is last of them all. Naval Command moving right along here early, going to open up on the field. Naval Command and Juan Leva pulling away to lead by 3 as they go into the first turn. And they're clear from Unbridled Courage in second. Comet 62 follows in third as they make their way to the backstretch and 6 lengths off the lead. They're being followed by Lori's Store, Pink Poppy to the inside, and EB Rider. 24 flat was the first quarter mile onto the backstretch for Naval Command, who leads them by 2 3/4. Unbridled Courage continues in second position, pursuing the front runner. Then Comet 62, who is third just to the inside of fellow gray Lori's Store. EB Rider is side by side with Pink Poppy at the back, and now just 5 lengths from first to last. They've caught up to Naval Command. That lead whittled away to a half a length. Unbridled Courage on the outside, second through a 49 3/2 mile. And then it's Comet 62 racing to the inside of Lori's Store, moving for the turn. Pink Poppy saving every inch of ground here, now angling just to the outside of a tiring Naval Command. And at the back of the field is EB Rider, and they are tightly packed with the new leader Unbridled Courage, taking them through 3/4 in 1:14 4. And now Comet 62 put to pressure in second. Lori's Store is just outside of them. EB Rider swings up on the far outside, and Pink Poppy closes through at the rail. Into the final furlong. Unbridled Courage, Pink Poppy gains on the inside. Lori's Store to the outside. EB Rider's closing in the center of the course. Lori's Store strikes the front. EB Rider coming. It is Lori's Store holding on. Over EB Rider, Pink Poppy was third, then Unbridled Courage.
Number 5, Lori's Store. The favorite wins it, pays $4, owned by Miller Racing LLC, trained by Marty Wilson. That gives jockey John Velasquez his second consecutive victory on the card. And trainer Marty Wilson also trained the second place finisher EB Rider. The exact was $16.40. The 6th race, 6 furlongs. It's the Sunshine Million Sprint, $150,000 guaranteed. Blinkers off on the number 2 horse.
They're off in the Sunshine Million Sprint. And Wildcat Red had a very good start, and XY Jet goes right at him, and El Botas is away running in third on the inside of them. It's Not Me came out in fourth by another 2.5. And they're followed by CZ, Alfredo Romano to the outside. Puntrooskie, Akaret is last, and XY Jet has cleared. XY Jet blazes past the half-mile pole, in front through a 21 3 first quarter mile. El Botas is up running in second. Wildcat Red back to third, now 3 lengths off the lead. 2.5 lengths more to Alfredo Romana. And then it's Not Me, CZ to the inside. Puntrooskie and Akaret, XY Jet on top as they come toward the quarter pole. It's a 2-length lead as Wildcat Red rallies up on the outside into second past El Botas. A 43 4/2 mile for XY Jet, who comes down to the 8th pole, 5 clear of Wildcat Red. XY Jet past the 16th pole, well clear of Wildcat Red and the others, and XY Jets run another huge race today, taking the Sunshine Million Sprint by 4 over Wildcat Red. And then it was CZ, followed by Puntrooskie and Akaret in a final time of 1 minute 8.58 seconds.
Number 8, XY Jet, was XY Gone. What a performance. Gets the 6 furlongs in 108.58. Just a couple of ticks off the track record. Owned by Gulfstream Farm LLC. Trained by George Navarro and driven to victory today by MSCL Hanamio. Welcome back. The 7th race is a 5-furlong turf sprint. It is the Sunshine Millions Turf Sprint, $150,000 guaranteed. Scratch number 5, Pure Sensation. Scratch the 12, City of Weston. Blinkers on the 6, the off-time favorite, number 2, Summation Time.
They're off in the Sunshine Millions Turf Sprint. And it's Noble Prince and Katie's Kiss who come out together on the lead. And then it's Jewel of a Cat away running in third to the outside. Amelia's Wild Ride is there with Platinum Prince and Summation Time down on the inside. On the far outside, Simon Bar Sinister is going up just to the outside of Delta Bluesman. And then it's back to Storm of the Century. Padilla is last of them all as the field races for the turn where it's Noble Prince and Katie's Kiss together up front through a 21 3/4. And they're joined by Jewel of a Cat on the outside, who's just on the outside of the front runners now. Then it's Platinum Prince down on the inside. Amelia's Wild Ride. Simon Bar Sinister sent along on the far outside. Summation Time is in behind horses, looks for running room, and they're into the stretch. And here comes Amelia's Wild Ride rushing through between horses. Inside of Katie's Kiss. To the outside, Jewel of a Cat. Summation Time is closing in late on the far outside. It's Amelia's Wild Ride and Summation Time. Amelia's Wild Ride won it. From Summation Time, Simon Bar Sinister, then Jewel of a Cat and Padilla.
Number 7, Amelia's Wild Ride wins and pays $8.20, owned by Silver Trail Stables, LLC, trained by Chloe Bradley and ridden to victory today by Jose Lescano. The 8th race, 1 mile and 1/16 on the turf. It's an allowance optional claimer for 4-year-olds and upward. Scratch the 5, scratch the 9, MN Kitten, and both main track onlys, number 15 and number 16.
They're off. Siete Say is sent out to the front. He's in front away running in second position. Smooth Daddy came out in third as they race by the stands. Then Just Call Kenny going up in between horses. And there too are Dynamic Impact and Amis Holiday on the far outside, who's floated 5 wide into that first turn. Saving all the ground there is Winter Springs just in behind them. 2.5 lengths more, and then comes Yankee Dealer Taglib on the outside, followed by My Running Mate and Caribou Gardens. English Minister is last of them all, past an easy opening quarter mile of 24 2. Onto the backstretch, Siete Say by 3. Smooth Daddy is running in second. Winter Springs is third. He's in front. He's in fourth as they continue up the backstretch. Just Call Kenny follows in fifth, 5.5 lengths from the front. After that comes Amis Holiday to the outside of Dynamic Impact along the rail. Taglib is after that, then Yankee Dealer, followed by Caribou Gardens, My Running Mate, and English Minister trails Siete Say, who went 49 flat for a half mile. The pace has quickened as they go into the far turn. Smooth Daddy now cutting into that gap, and the front runners under a ride now. Smooth Daddy's only a half length behind Siete Say. They're 2 lengths ahead of Winter Springs running in third position. On the far outside, Caribou Gardens is sent along, and saving all the ground is Amis Holiday, and they're coming to the top of the stretch. Smooth Daddy takes the lead as they turn for home, but on the outside it's Caribou Gardens who comes on, and these two are joined by on the inside Winter Springs, Taglib, English Minister closing from dead last, then Amis Holiday. It's Caribou Gardens. Caribou Gardens coming home a winner over Smooth Daddy, Taglib, and English Minister. Yankee Dealer was fifth.
Number 6, Caribou Gardens closes from far back. Nice ride by jockey Joe Bravo. Pays $7.60 to win. Owned by Melnick Racing Stables Incorporated and trained by Josie Carroll. The 9th race, 7 furlongs. It's the Sunshine Millions Distaff, $200,000 guaranteed. The co-feature event of the afternoon for fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and up. Scratch number 2, Imperial Secret.
They're off. Winning for Sarah broke well from the far outside. Flutterby is also out with some early speed. These two away the best. Then My Miss Venezuela, followed by Mom's Laugh on the inside. As the field continues up the backstretch, Dogwood Trail goes up in between rivals, and then it's back to Legal Laura, Lucky Switch to the inside. Moment of Delight is next, and You Bought Her is last of them all. Up the backstretch through a quarter of 22 3/5 seconds. And they're battling for the lead here. It's Winning for Sarah and Flutterby. These two right together up front. And in between them, it's Dogwood Trail. 3 of them across the track as they move into the far turn. Mom's Laugh is a length and a half off of them. And they're followed by Legal Laura to the outside, and beginning to gain some ground is My Miss Venezuela, who has rallied up into fourth. After that, it's You Bought Her and Lucky Switch on the inside. And now Dogwood Trail is taking the lead after a 45 flat half mile, but is taken on now by Mom's Laugh. And these two turn for home together. Flutterby is third, My Miss Venezuela fourth. You Bought Her trying to get going, and here she comes on the outside. Mom's Laugh and You Bought Her. Now these are the two that arrive at the 16th pole. You Bought Her and Mom's Laugh. You Bought Her outside. Mom's Laugh battles on inside. Mom's Laugh won't give it up. Mom's Laugh determined to win over You Bought Her, and then it was Legal Laura, Dogwood Trail, and Lucky Switch.
Number one, Mom's Laugh. What a ride by jockey Javier Castellano. Fights off a very game challenge in the stretch to win it for A. Bianco Holding, trained by Marcus Vitali. The 10th race, 1 mile and 1/16 on the turf. It's the Sunshine Millions Turf, $150,000 guaranteed for 4-year-olds and up. Of course, Florida breds, scratch number 5, Fire Spike. Note that the 12 is a gelding.
They're off in the Sunshine Millions Turf. And it's Rizwan who goes out to lead them early. Cement Clement is away running in second. My Point Exactly third. Then Reporting Star on the outside, followed by Fundamental. And Amigo is right in behind them. Manchurian High will ride the rail into that turn. Then Gourmet Delight, followed by Prince Vincenzo, Old Time Hockey, and Black Martino is last of them all. Cement Clement on top as the field makes their way toward the backstretch. Cement Clement leads the way, on top by 2 lengths. On the inside, it's Rizwan, who's battling for the second spot with Reporting Star on the far outside, who's now up into second. My Point Exactly fourth after a 24-2 first quarter mile. Fundamentals 5.5 lengths off the lead. Amigo is right alongside. And then comes Manchurian High, Gourmet Delight, Prince Vincenzo, and Old Time Hockey. Black Martino still at the back of the field after a 49 flat half mile. They continue up the backstretch. Cement Clement on top. Leads it by a length. Reporting Star second to the outside. Rizwan is down toward the rail, 3 lengths off the lead. Then My Point Exactly. Amigo and Manchurian High. Fundamental still with about 6 lengths to make up. And then comes Prince Vincenzo on the outside of Gourmet Delight, Black Martino, and Old Time Hockey. Cement Clement on top, 3/4 win in 1:14 flat. And Cement Clement turns for home, joined by Reporting Star on the outside. And Reporting Star now goes on by. Amigo Fundamental is closing on the far outside, and then Manchurian High, who's putting in a bid too. It's Reporting Star. Here's Manchurian High rushing up alongside. And Manchurian High and Reporting Star battle it out. Manchurian High wins it. Reporting Star was second, and then came Fundamental, followed by Amigo and Old Time Hockey.
Number 6, Manchurian High closes. What a nice ride by jockey Luis Saez. The horse paid $16.40 to win, owned and trained by Lily Curtinez. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, it'll be feature race time with the Sunshine Millions Classic. Welcome back for the first half of the late Daily Double, and it's our co-feature event of the afternoon, 1 mile and 1/8. It is the Sunshine Millions Classic, $250,000 guaranteed, a full field of 10 runners going to the post.
They're off in the Sunshine Millions Classic. A good start for Mexicoma. Abounding Legacy, Runs with Bulls, Senor Quisqueano, and Morgan's Harbor all showing early speed, and Mexicoma got caught in behind them there and had to steady in traffic going into the turn. Mr. Jordan now moving up on the outside of horses as Senor Quisqueano and Morgan's Harbor make the pace. And Mr. Jordan is up running in third now on the outside, then Runs with Bulls and Mexicoma, followed by Abounding Legacy down at the rail. Catholic Cowboy and Saraguaro are next, and then comes Roll On the Navajo, and last of them all is Your Dreams Are Mine. They went 23-2 for the first quarter mile. On to the backstretch. There goes Mr. Jordan now to the outside. Mr. Jordan makes a move for the lead as the field heads up the backstretch. Senor Quisqueyano running in second. And then it's Runs with Bulls. Mexicoma's fourth on the outside. At the rail, it's Morgan's Harbor. Sadaguaro is next. Abounding Legacy going up between those two. Then Roll On the Navajo. Catholic Cowboys only 4.5 lengths off the lead. And last is Your Dreams Are Mine. 47 flat the half mile. And Mr. Jordan takes charge into the far turn, 2 lengths in front. Mexicoma is second. Sadaguaro comes under a ride on the outside of Runs with Bulls. Something's gone wrong here with Senor Quisqueyano, who's dropped out of contention. Mr. Jordan on top as the field rounds the far turn. And Mexicoma is a length and a half behind. They've run 3/4 in 1:11 flat. They're coming to the top of the stretch. Mr. Jordan and Mexicoma will decide the Sunshine Millions Classic. They turn for home 1-2. Mr. Jordan still there coming to the 8th pole. Mexicoma's running at him though. Mr. Jordan and Mexicoma. Mexicoma takes the lead. Mexicoma to the front. Mr. Jordan battles him to the finish, but Mexicoma wins it. Mr. Jordan was second, Catholic Cowboy was third, then either Roll On the Navajo or Morgan's Harbor.
Number 5, Mexicoma closes, reels in Mr. Jordan, gives jockey John Velasquez his third victory on the card, owned by Team Valor International and trained by Michael Dilger. The 12th and final race is 7 furlongs on the main track. These are 3-year-olds. Scratch the number 8. It's All Irrelevant.
They're off. Bolt Hall is going to the front. Eclipse Auto on the inside, and right up there is Kelly Tuff, who's on the pace and going to go up and take the lead. Sharp Azteca moves up in company with Street Gray now, and they're all a part of the early issue. Break of another 3.5 back to Chupunga, and then it's Star Hill to the inside, followed by Singleton. Miles of Humor is next, and then comes Duncan in, and far behind is Uncle Guy, who's trailing the field through the first quarter mile in 22-1. Up the backstretch, Sharp Azteca now the leader. Street Gray second to the outside. On the rail, it's Kelly Tuff running in third. Bolt Hall fourth and moving up on the outside. A length and a half farther back to Star Hill, underway from 5th position as the field rounds the far turn. Then comes Chupunga on the far outside. Eclipse Auto is next, and a big gap back to the rest. 5 lengths to Miles of Humor, Singleton, and Duncan. And far behind is Uncle Guy, 45-1 the half mile. And Bolt Hall has taken the lead as they come toward the top of the stretch. Sharp Azteca back into second on the inside. Chupunga third, then Street Gray. Kelly Tuff on the far outside is next. They come to the 8th pole. Bolt Hall in front. Kelly Tuff is closing on the outside. Bolt Hall by 2. Kelly Tuff second, and then comes Star Hill, but it's Bolt Hall. Bolt Hall will give John Velasquez a 4-win day. Kelly Tuff was second, and then came Star Hill, Miles of Humor, and Sharp Azteca.
Number 11, Bolt Hall wins it and gives jockey John Velasquez his 4th win on the day. The horse paid $21.20 to win, owned by Stone Street Stables, LLC, and trained by Todd Fletcher, his 2nd win on the card. In the pick 5, 5 of 5, $4,337.60, 4 of 5, $34.80. In the Rainbow 6, 6 of 6, a couple of tickets, $6,988.54. The carryover going into Sunday, $35,027.06. And we have a really nice carryover in the Super High 5 of $20,114.16. And that wraps up Saturday's action tonight right here at Gulfstream Park. Don't forget the Eclipse Awards. I hope your favorites win. We'll be back here on Sunday. 11 races on tap with a first race post of 12:35. Good night and good luck.